The one thing about guitars are often quite problematic in mixes because they can be quite brittle, they can be quite bassy, they can be everything. There's so many different varieties of sound. You generally do have to do quite a lot of mixing work to get them to fit into the track that you're working on. So I'm going to be looking at a bit of that now with this track I mixed and co-produced for M Noir. I'll just play it with everything, all my processing on. Most people Let's take all of the various plugins I'm using off. This is the sound without any processing. So first off, EQ. The guitar signal itself has a lot of low end here. I actually focused on the mid-range. I made the guitar sound less rich, a bit kind of more small and pokey. Secondly, I used the LA2A compressor a lot on guitar. It can be a very quick fix. It can be very instant volume. You know, it's got a great gain circuit in there. I actually threw it on there just to try and do a little bit of peak reduction, but actually just a very quick way of getting the gain up. So there was some compression going on, but it's subtle. And then I'm using the Pro Q3, taking out certain mid-range frequencies, which will be because those frequencies are very, very prevalent in one of the other sounds in the track. So that's kind of reducing the masking. Next up, this Warm Choral stock plugin. That's actually doing pitch modulation slightly and panning without it. And then suddenly it's got a bit more stereo, a bit of wonkiness, and that modulation, that slight pitch modulation, the vibrato, is helping it to pop out of the mix. Next up, saturator. But with it, it's just got more bite, but it's just got a tiny bit of drive, and I'm just basically using the soft sine setting just to add some saturation in the high end. Helps it cut through. Now the spring reverb is next. It's got quite a dark tone to it, so it's adding spatial stuff like spring reverb, but not extra energy in the high end. Always love a bit of spring reverb, especially on these kind of like surfy, cinematic noir guitars. And then finally I'm using a tremolo, which is just a real simple tremolo effect. It's a fast trem. The other final thing I was doing is I was actually sending some of this sound via a bus to a delay and reverb using the Ableton Echo basically. So it's got a bit of filtering on there. It's got a bit of reverb. And it's got a long feedback, and that's just really just added mood and vibe, but in the mix it just does a little bit of extra, a bit more movement. So yeah, that's always worth thinking about when you're working on your track. Think about the sound you're adding in. Obviously get a good sound as you can at the source. Anyway, hope that's useful, hope that's inspiring. Let me know if you've got any questions. Hopefully it's useful.